3 tips to win your local crit. Crit racing is the fundamental building block of American cycling. Criteriums in just about every town all over the country at one time of the year or another. I did a lot of crits when I was a cyclist and was strong and lucky enough to win quite a few. So I love racing crits, super intense. It's a test of just about all of your skills as a cyclist: bike handling, tactics, speed, balance, acceleration. So crit racing is a great developmental tool also, without having the pulverizing distance for young athletes as a typical European road race. You develop all the skills you need to excel at the highest level of the sport. Love crit racing, not very easy to win. Very tough. And in all honesty, most of every crit field is pack fodder. In fact, everybody except one person per race is an also-ran. And now I'm going to share 3 tips, 2 attainable, 1 not so much, but can be overcome. In order to win your local criterium. Number 1, start at the front. No matter how long you have to be there beforehand. And if riders start upping the ante of starting on the front line, you have to be willing to do whatever anybody else is doing to get on the front line. Now, if they're going to call riders up, it might take a number of months or even years to get to the place where you're one of the riders that gets called up. If you're not one of those riders consistently and you still want to win, be sure you start as close to the front as possible, because in a criterium, the more competitive they are, the more difficult it is to move up from a poor starting position. So tip number 1, start near the front. You can save an incredible amount of energy just by doing that in the opening miles of a criterium. Tip number 2. Smooth, relaxed, reactive, balanced pedaling throughout the event. Criteriums have a wild variety of cornering situations. And as the pack, riders that were in the front are replaced by riders that have been in the back. Even if it's a closed course with 4 90-degree turns, each turn is different. You need to be as relaxed and smooth as possible through all of the corners throughout a criterium if you're going to have enough energy to win at the end. The third requirement is not so easy. Third, pick your parents wisely. And I know that is completely unrealistic, but it does suggest to us you've got to be pragmatic. You got to be realistic about your chances to win your local crit. If you have not picked your parents wisely from the cosmos, you will never be as competent as the greatest crit racer of all time, Davis Phinney. Davis Phinney, I bet he won over 300 professional criteriums in his career. Davis was the greatest criterium racer of all time. He won in the most incredible variety of criterium courses all over the world. Also, a great sprinter on the open road also, but Davis was a fantastic crit specialist. If you don't have his parentage, it's going to be very tough to replicate his feats. If you are not Davis Phinney, there are criteriums, and this is a part of tip number 3. Identify the criterium in your area during your racing season that best suits your talents. If you're a better climber than sprinter, you have to realize you probably won't ever win a flat crit. But if there's a crit with a steep, difficult climb that splits up the field every lap, that is one you might have a chance to win. If you don't have a good sprint against a small group, you're going to have to drop your competitors before the last lap. So having tactics, picking your parents, that not being possible, identifying the crit you can win, and then training for that specifically and being ready on the day to execute your plan. All right, there's your 3 tips for crit success. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Thumbs up if you like these videos, and comment. Let me know if you think you can win a crit with this new knowledge that you do have, or if not, no matter how much knowledge and training you have, and that happens. Some people are not born crit racers. If you would like to subscribe to these, click on my face. It'll take you straight to the subscriptions. And if you like some merchandise, press or click on the t-shirt. Thanks a lot, everybody.